right, so welcome back to math class. This was the homework that I asked you to finish. As you can see, I have most of the table filled in. Remember, we're still in lesson 13. We're going to make sure everybody understands how to do this. Most of us saw that we are multiplying across here by 3. Multiplying across here by 3. Okay, so let's look at what the first question says. What is the value of the ratio of the number of cars to the number of trucks? So we have to look at the cars. Cars is a 3. Truck is a 1. Now we have to make sure we put it in that order. The 3 has to come first because it was listed first. Your Google form is going to try and trick you today, so make sure you notice the order. Now because it says value, we like to write that as a fraction. Okay, second question. What equation would model the relationship between cars and trucks? So I put here cars. So we want to figure out how to get to the cars. So that means we would cover this up. So what would we do to the trucks to get this answer? Well, we wrote it right here. We took 1 times 3, 3 times 3, 6 times 3. So we took our trucks and we multiplied by 3. We took our trucks and we multiplied by 3. Most of us know the A plus answer would be 3t, because when they're touching, that means multiplying. All right, let's look at the equation for trucks. Now I want to figure out how to get the trucks. For me, it's easier if I cover them up. What did I do to the cars number to get the trucks? Well, I went from 3 to 1. I didn't multiply by 3 because 3 times 3 would be 9. I divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So we did the opposite operation. So we took our cars and we divided by 3. Some of you remember from yesterday that we actually can write a division problem as a fraction. We change that 3 and we're going to say 1/3 cars. Okay, so this is our A plus answer and this is our A plus answer. All right, the last problem you had to do was at the end of the trip, Malia had counted 1,254 trucks. How many cars did she see? So I made it here on my table, and I know that if this is the trucks and I have to go over to the cars, the operation is to multiply by 3. So I need to take 1,254 times 3. And my answer is 3,762. All right, let's move down to the next problem. It says Kevin is training to run a half marathon. His training program recommends that he run for 5 minutes and walk for, let's put the run with it, that might be important, and walk for 1 minute. Let R represent the number of minutes running. Makes sense, R in running, and let W represent the number of minutes walking. Okay, so we have R for running, W for walking. All right, let's find our ratio. 5 minutes for running. So here's our running. 5 minutes of running to 1 minute of walking. All right, so let's see. Am I counting by 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, nope, doesn't look like that. So let's check here. How am I going from 1 to 5? It looks like I multiplied by 5. Can I multiply by 5 here? 2 times, oh, it is multiplying by 5. So something times 5 is 20. Well, that's 4. 8 times 5 is 40. Something times 5 is 50. The answer is 10. Okay, so notice, be very careful. Sometimes the ratio table does not go in order. We have to be very careful and watch what numbers are listed. All right, let's look at a problem. What is the value, here we go with the word value again, of the ratio of the number of minutes walking to the number of minutes running? Okay, so walking is first. Walking is a 1. Running is second. It's a 5. But because it asks for value, we will write it as a fraction of 1/5. Make sure 1 is listed first and 5 is listed second. Okay, what equation could you use to calculate the minutes spent walking if you know the minutes spent running. So we need to come up with an equation. And we're going to start with, we want to know about walking. So it has to be W. We're trying to find out the minutes of walking. So that means we have to hide this, the minutes of the walking. I'm sorry. That's what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out how we got that number. How did we get walking? 5 went down to 1. 10 went down to 2. 20 went down to 4. What pattern am I doing going back this way? I'm multiplying going up. I'm dividing by 5 going down. So I took 5 divided by 5 to get 1. 10 divided by 5 to get 2. 20 divided by 5 to get 4. So I'm taking my running number and I'm dividing by 5. Taking my running number and I'm dividing it by 5. Okay, that's a great answer, but what did we do earlier in order to make this a fraction? Well, if you notice, here's our fraction right here. We found the value. And so we're going to change this to W equals, and instead of dividing by 5, that means we're cutting into fifths. So we're going to say 1/5 R. All right, so I think we should probably practice one more time before we do our Google Forms. Let's go and take our books and toss them over here to our problem set. And let's see if we can fill this in real quick. It says a cookie recipe calls for 1 cup of white sugar and 3 cups of brown sugar. Make a table showing the comparison of the amount of white sugar to the amount of brown sugar. All right, well, it looks pretty simple. 1 goes with the white, and 3 goes with the brown sugar. So let's go 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're multiplying across by 3. Multiplying by 3. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 3, 12. And 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, great. We have a ratio table filled in. Write the value of the ratio of the amount of white sugar to brown. Okay, so white first. 1 to 3. That's our ratio. But as a value, it would be written like this. 1 to 3, 1/3. Okay, write an equation that shows the relationship of the amount of white sugar to the amount of brown sugar. Okay, so we're going to write some ratios. Let's do the brown sugar first. So that means we're going to cover up the brown sugar like this. How did I get to the brown sugar? What did I do to this number to get 3? What did I do to the 2 to get a 6? What did I do to the 3 to get a 9? You're correct. We multiplied by 3. We took the white and we multiplied by 3. Now remember, our A+ answer would be B equals 3W. So we put our coefficient here next to our variable. And remember, because they're touching, that means multiply. All right, so we did the B. Now let's find the W. All right, so since I'm finding the W, I have to cover that one up. How do I go from 1 to 3? I'm going backwards. If I did 1 minus 2, or 3 minus 2, that's 1. 6 minus 2, no, minus 2 won't work. So we have to do the opposite operation of multiplying. The opposite of multiplying by 3 would be divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we divided. We took our brown sugar and we divided by 3. But remember, we're going to use this value. We're going to say white equals 1/3 of the brown. 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop right there. We won't do these two. And I just wanted to do one more practice with you. You have a Google form to fill in. If you have any questions, please reach out and ask your teachers.